This is James. He's our Fibrous plasterer, and yeah, it's not the ideal way that he would have liked it done. I think he said it would be better if he forms the arch first.
Yeah, we would normally pre-form something like this in the workshop, but what we've got now is we've got an arch we've got to deal with on site, so we've got to run a moulding in situ. We've cut out a zinc profile, which gives us a shape to run around the side of the arch to create this detail. And then this piece on the bottom we have to do freehand. It's all done with casting plaster, which is plaster of Paris, and mixed with a bit of adhesive to hold it back, so it's easy to run in situ.
When you say adhesive, you mean clothing adhesive, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's clothing adhesive.
Yeah, so that just holds it back a bit, but don't expect miracles because that's still only minutes as opposed to hours, isn't it?
Yeah, if you go with normal plaster of Paris, it's about 10-minute working time.
Is it?
But you get about 15 minutes with adhesive. So.
And for you, because you're experienced at it, sometimes that open time of 15 minutes means you're hanging about a little bit, yeah?
Yeah. So you mix up your plaster as a watery mix, but then you generally let it pick up until it's almost at a working consistency, which makes it easier to apply and then easy to form as well.
Right, so you don't mix it up to the consistency you want to work at.
Exactly.
You mix it sloppy,
yeah,
and then leave it to start warming itself up. And
exactly.
Can you feel the heat on it when it's setting or not?
It's a chemical reaction that makes it
Yeah.
warm, so it does warm up as it's going off.
So in the warm weather, it's going to be going off faster.
But it does affect it slightly.
Yeah.
And things like dirty water that will affect.
Yeah. So clean water, clean cold water.
Yeah.
You're a plasterer then?
I'm a fibrous plasterer.
You're not a spread then? You don't go out and do
I do.
the flat stuff?
I do that as well, but
There's no money in it.
I generally do fibrous plastering.
Yeah, yeah. So what did you do? An apprenticeship on fibrous plastering then?
Yeah.
So, not a rude question, why? What made you think, oh, I want to go that route rather than knocking it out as a spread or whatever?
Do you know what? I actually done it for my work experience at school.
Ah, really?
And then ended up getting a job with that company and pretty much done it ever since.
Yeah.
My older brother does it as well, so
Oh, does he?
yeah.
Oh, good bit of family business. So is it your business?
Yeah, my brother's got his own business.
So you're both competing against each other?
Yeah.
Did you run him out of town? Where does he live?
He does more the commercial side. So
Oh, does he?
I'm sort of more domestic.
Yeah, yeah. When you say commercial, that would be shops and
Yeah,
fancy offices.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, people with loads of money who want Grecian-looking atriums or something. Yeah. So your work is all domestic. So basically
Mostly, yeah.
So that's a lot of keeping very clean, isn't it, as you work?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, you do have to contain the job, don't you? Basically.
Yeah.
So do you get a lot of repairs to do, or what?
Yeah, we do a lot of insurance work, so a lot of flood damages and fire damage, subsidence.
Yeah. So this is just what would we call this bit here you're doing now? This arch. It's not a cornice.
We're kind of matching to an existing detail.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But when you start looking at these really ornate ceilings, do you do all that kind of stuff as well?
Yeah, we do that sort of restoration.
One thing here
Yep.
is that when you take this off, you're not putting it back in the bowl, are you? You're not using it again.
No, you can't reuse the material once it's been applied. It starts going off too quick.
Right, so if you were to put that back on there, it would just go off like a rocket, probably.
Yeah. This material's now been kind of contaminated by the suction and.
So all that lot's going in a skip then?
It will be, yeah.
Is it? Have you ever thought of having a series of little moulds that you can just chuck that stuff in and make as you're going
really,
in the workshop?
In the workshop you can to a point,
Yeah.
but you don't get much time with it. So
It's not worth it.
if you're working on something else,
You
then,
just got to get on with
by
it.
the time you get on the other thing, stuff's going to have gone off and then you'll be in trouble.
So plaster of Paris, this would be the same stuff that they would use if you've broken your leg.
Pretty much. In the old days it would have been. Now they've got special bandages. So.
Have they?
Yeah.
So that's another trade you've been cheated out of it. For one time, I used to go to the hospital and put on a few plaster casts for people.
Yeah.
But now, what's that fiberglass job? Does anybody use fiberglass for this kind of work or not?
Yeah, we use fiberglass as well.
Do you?
We use all different materials.
Why would you
Fiberglass.
need fiberglass? Where would that happen?
That would be external work. Or
Oh,
we use it
okay.
to make our moulds as well. So,
All right.
So yeah, silicone rubber moulds or fiberglass moulds.
If you ran this lot up, so if you'd done what you would have preferred to do, which is to come along, take a pattern, take some measurements and then run it, do the whole thing on a bench,
Yeah.
you wouldn't bring it back in one piece, would you? You'd bring it back in sections.
Yeah, 2 pieces or.
Oh really? As big as that?
I mean, it depends. Sometimes you make the straight section in one piece,
Yeah.
and then the curved section will be in 2 pieces, which you would stitch together, and then you could screw into place.
Oh really? I was up with you, screws. So has that got a scrim inside it, Hessian?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hessian and traditional timber lathes as well.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Why do you use traditional timber? Is that the best? Get the best result?
Yeah, it's just basically because we use all traditional methods and materials. So it's the lathes are basically for a fixing point and for adding strength to the casts.
Got it. So you get a fair amount of English heritage work, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, bits and pieces. Yeah.
Are they a pain in the butt to deal with or not? You don't have to say.
They can be, yeah. Yeah.
Very exacting.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's great to see it anyway. Keeping the craft alive. So you got what? One son, one daughter, or what?
Yeah, one of each.
Have you? Would you be encouraging your son to go into this trade or not?
Get a proper job.
Yeah. And what's your daughter interested in doing?
She wants to work in the medical profession somewhere. So,
Does she?
yeah. So hopefully I'll be able to retire soon and she can keep me going.
James, I hate to break it to you, mate, but that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for showing us. It's really good. So we'll get details. So we put details of your company for people who want you, but if they want your services, they've got to be prepared to pay a lot. Is that right?
That's right, yeah. Yeah, we're not cheap.
You're not cheap, but you do the job right.